This is Olin, and I am the calculus teacher here at Butler High School. I have had your student all year long, and I just wanted to reiterate some things that we are doing. We're continuing from AB Calculus into BC Calculus this semester. Some of the concepts get a little harder, but we also look at totally different units that are talking about different concepts and continuing our course with calculus this year. I pulled over the AB and the BC material into our Canvas so it looks exactly the same way it did in first semester. So you can see here on the screen. Here, if you ever have any information or questions, please feel free to email me. My email address is right here. Use Parent Square as well. Students, you'll see them using the online textbook when we have homework out of the textbook. A few of them asked for the book at home, and I suggested it just in case power goes out or internet goes out, or maybe they're riding on the bus to and from like an athletic event, and they would have the book. New this year, for our AP exam, students are allowed to use the Desmos calculator. So there is a Desmos link right here. We can still use the handheld as well. Students will be allowed to have that. There is a link to the I-84 calculator here. You do not have access to one at home. But students have been using the Desmos calculator more often than not. They have to just make sure that says College Board. This is the same thing that they use for the PSAT, SAT. Just a regular Desmos version may not work because there might be some applications that we do not, or it does not allow them to use on just a regular desmos.com. But here I have all the different units, and I include the units from first semester that up to Unit 8, and we took a final exam in January. Currently, we are finishing up Unit 10, going into a Unit 11, and we'll eventually do Units 12 and 13. We will end a little bit after the fourth quarter begins. So third quarter ends, fourth quarter begins, and with the Unit 13 test. There will be a BC midterm in there. It'll include up to Unit 12 on it as well. But if you click any of these units, say Unit 11 right here, it will give you what we actually cover for today. Sometimes there's a pre-made video in there. Sometimes there's just a video from a previous class that we have. It shows what the homework is. It also will show my PDF notes as well. Sometimes it shows what the warm-up will be. And as we get closer and closer to the AP exam, it will we'll be doing more and more free response questions with students working on their writing as far as what they would like for the exam in the end. As far as their AP exam, and I'm going back to the home screen of the Canvas page right quick, if it does that for me. As far as the AP exam, scroll back down, our AP exam will be Monday, May 12th at 8 o'clock. That means it begins at 8 o'clock. Students, my suggestion would be to be here at 7:15, just like they're coming in on a regular school day, and they'll tell them what room they were in. Last year, they were divided up into 2 rooms. I expect, since our class is so large, it'll be divided up into 2 rooms again. It will be different this year because we will have a hybrid exam. All the multiple choice items will be on the Chromebook on the computer in something called Blue Book. And so they will answer them through there. And then the free response questions, they will have a booklet. And here's an example of the booklet. So you can click in Canvas and have your students show you what the booklet will look like, but the questions will be online. This will also help to secure the test because in the past, things have leaked out, and this is AP or College Board's approach to having a more secure exam experience. Another thing that the students have readily available to them, not only do they have My Notes and Canvas available, everybody has AP Classroom. An AP Classroom is for any AP class. So if they have 3 AP classes, they should have 3 AP classrooms to look at. We actually have the advantage of 2 because we have the AB calculus and we have the BC. Right now we're working in BC calculus. This is an example of a student in the class of what they see in there. If you see course guide, they can go back to say units. Now my units don't quite match up to the College Board units. So our units 10 and 11 actually are their units 10. And so you can see all the different topics covered in the units. And say like they need more information on Taylor polynomials. They can click this right here and they can watch videos. For example, this one has 3 different videos on this topic. Now, sometimes there may only be one video, so alternating series Arrowbound only has one. They can click these and get somebody else's experience and examples on these topics, especially if they don't understand by me. Go ahead and do this. Now, I have them see them Google some other videos online, which is perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I also assign assignment in here. And if you click assignments over to the side, you can see the active assignments that we have. I did assign videos. They didn't necessarily have to watch these videos. There will be some coming up in the end when we start to review for the final exam. All right, but you can see some things that I have been assigned, like we have the Unit 1 progress check after the Unit and tests that they need to do. They can see things that are upcoming. I don't have anything upcoming because everything's open right now, but we have some things that are completed and you can see like scores they make. A lot of times I use these as review. So you can see we did the Unit 10 review, we did the Unit 9 review, and the students really like when I assign, especially the progress checks. And they give them 2 attempts. So like if they get the first attempt wrong, they can go back and try it for a second time. And so that really helps them out when they're trying to figure out a question. And if they don't get it right after the second time, they know they really need some practice on these problems. And in here, they can click any of the assignments and get back into them as long as I've opened them up. And it gives them a little bit more information. It's just taking a second to get there. Say if now he had gotten all of them right here, but say if they had needed more on number 1 and didn't quite understand it, you can go back to the question and it actually tells you questions related to that are on this quiz, but also gives you a daily video for that information. So the students have a lot of places they can go to get extra help, not only from me. I am here every morning. They can ask me about an afternoon. I usually just don't stay on Fridays. I've enjoyed having your student this year, and it's not much longer before we take that AP exam. So make sure they're studying, make sure they're doing homework each night. And this has been a very successful class this year, and I'll hate to lose them at the end of the year. So if you ever have any questions, please feel free to email me or send me a message over Parent Square. Thank you, and I hope you have a great day.